One of the things that I've come to realize is if you want something, you sometimes have to give something up. If you want to be wealthy, you got to give something up. You want to get healthy, you got to give something up. We're going to talk with Dylan, who's going to be a speaker at our ORAT of Celebration in Vegas, about 9 habits that made him unrecognizable. Dylan, this was an amazing Instagram post. If you're not following this young man on Instagram, you are truly missing out because he is a savant with Instagram. But Dylan, let's talk about 9 habits that made you unrecognizable in 24 months. What do you got?
Yeah. So, kind of a quick little tangent on this. A lot of what I do is trying to speak to the younger version of myself whenever I'm doing stuff on social media. So it always comes down to like what frameworks, things did I do, habits did I have, things that have helped me kind of shape myself into who I am. So this kind of was a whole journal entry that I did for myself, and I kind of boiled it into like 9 specific things that I think really changed the trajectory of my life. So, anyways, yeah. Number one, I think, especially as a younger person, I was thinking like I had to take some big, massive action all the time to get to where I want to go. And this is probably stemmed from Atomic Habits and a bunch of other things I've done, but really it wasn't any one big, grandiose thing that I've done. It was a lot of small habits done consistently. And I don't think it's just in the habits that you do, but I think it's in the things that you do as well too. So, things that I would do, like in my phone, whenever I'd make a contact, I would take a detailed note in every conversation. And it's not a perfect science. Like it's not every time I did that, but I tried to pick up on things that people told me that were important to them, things that they were struggling with, or things that they even liked, just so I could remember. Because I think remembering what people tell you is kind of really, really important, especially when you're trying to network and things like that. And then another example of that is like following up on their stories. And it's especially good with networking when you're trying to work a room to remind people, like when you're introducing other people to people, hey, remind them of that story you told me you went to Japan or you did this thing or whatever. And then you kind
Yeah.
of get to create this like energy with these new people that are meeting each other, and then you can walk away and join someone else. But people always remember that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is taking action on the advice that my mentors told me, because people notice when you actually listen and care about their world. And I think the one thing that you can really do to separate yourself from a lot of other people that are just asking is actually taking action on the things that
I,
you learn. So
I want to poke at that one before we continue with the list because the
yeah,
list is amazing. But I have to tell you, as somebody who has been quote unquote taking people to coffee or getting people coffee, with real estate investing for decades now, it is shocking to me. And I'm sure it's in the 90 percentile that either A, do nothing that I told them, or worse, fight me, right? You ask me what the step one is, get a buy box, and they fight me. I'm like, why are we having this conversation? Because my opinion's not going to change. You're not going to change my opinion. I've already been up this mountain. You want to
yeah,
get up this mountain? You're asking me my opinion, and you're fighting me.
yeah,
Bye. I think it was Keanu Reeves once said he's to the point in life where if he's talking to somebody and they say 1 + 1 is 5, he goes, "Yep, you're right. See you later." I'm like, that's me, man. I'm like, I am not in the convincing business, Dylan. If you ask me my opinion and you don't take it, I'm not in the convincing business. I'm not going to waste another second on you.
100%. Yeah, no, I totally agree. So, yeah, that's number one. I think it's small, but I think small actions kind of have a lasting impact, especially if you're showing up day in and day out. You're taking notes, you're doing the small things over and over and over again, and I think
Yep.
that all compounds into the person you want to become. So yeah, number two, um, I was thinking, I'm like, what did I do that was different than everybody else? What do I focus on? And there's a quote that Tony Robbins, I think he's the one that said it, but I think where attention goes, energy flows.
Yeah.
A lot of us, myself included, for a long, long time, was just on autopilot, right? Like I'm doing the same things over and over again, but I wasn't being really intentional about not just like the things that I was doing, but like who I was hanging out with, the places that I would go, the things that I would do, the music I'd listen to, the content I watch. This also, Atomic Habits is one of my favorite books I've ever read, but there's a quote in it, and it says, "Every single decision that you do is a conscious vote for the life and the person that you actually want to become." So to be the person that you want to be, you have to start living the way that that person would live. So a lot of what I do is casting out to a future version of myself of like who I want to be, and really taking an honest look at myself and asking myself, is am I living in a way that that person would live? Because if you're not, then you have to, it doesn't mean that you have to be that person today, but you have to start to become that kind of person. And that all starts with the things that you consume, the people you hang out with, and the places that you go, the things that you do day in and day out, because that's how you become that person. And the story I'll drive home to put a bow on that point is I was telling myself all of these things that I wanted to do, whether it was traveling, the people I would hang out with, all of those things. And I thought that a certain amount of money was going to make me into that person. And then I had a really big month last year, and I felt the same exact way that I felt like 20 minutes before it hit my account. And I realized that the money wasn't going to change me. And I had to make a conscious decision to become that person regardless of the amount.
Yes. Yeah, I love it. And one of the quotes that I hear, and sometimes you hear quotes and you either get it or you don't. This one always makes me chuckle. And it's, if nothing changes, nothing changes. I'm like, dude,
100%.
that's so powerful. Like, because again, I meet a lot of people that want to get wealthy. A lot of people, now that I'm on this crazy health journey, kind of like want to repeat what I'm doing or see some of this success, and they're like, they're not. You want to drop 40 pounds of fat, like visceral fat and subcutaneous fat, which I've done. You've got to change your diet. You got to exercise more. You got to watch your macros. You got to track this. You got to track that. It's not hard. But if
Yeah,
you're just going to willy-nilly it, you're not going to lose 40 pounds in 6 months. And you're certainly not going to add 10 pounds of muscle, now 11 pounds. So
100%.
it's funny, man. If nothing changes, nothing changes.
Could not agree more. And that actually ties really well into the next point. I am very like a lot of, even when I like start struggling in business, or there's times or seasons where I have to put my head down a little bit more, I always turn back to like the gym,
Yep.
and being really hard on myself, because like life is chaotic, business is chaotic. And so I want to be tougher on my body, than the world is on me. So like a lot of that stems from, like just doing hard things daily. I do cold exposure often. I work out really hard, 4 to 5 days a week. I train jujitsu. And it's even small things too, like you had mentioned earlier. Like if you're trying to lose 40 pounds, you're probably not going to do it in 6 months. But
No.
it's about doing small things over and over again. So like another example is like I always park farther away. I get made fun of by all my friends, but I'm always the farthest parked away because I want to get extra steps.
Yeah.
Um,
It's
I
simple things
always
like that. Yeah.
100%. I always take the stairs. Like there's these little rules and mantras that I always do. Like I don't take escalators. I always take the stairs. But
Yep.
it's just doing these small things and choosing the hard path on purpose. Because I
Yeah.
believe, oh God,
No, go.
I was going to say that I think healthy investors lead to healthy minds, and healthy minds lead to healthy profits.
Well, let me just tell you this. I'm a couple of decades, almost 3 decades older than you. And where you are in life, I don't mean this as a negative, it's just enjoy it. You're made of plastic, right? The fact that you're doing these things now mean when you get to be my age, you're going to be light years ahead of folks. You just can't give it up because it becomes harder, right? Hormones change, age is a real thing. And, I have seen plenty of people, I'm hundreds, maybe even probably thousands at this point. Cause I'm lucky enough to take 6-star vacations, and, a $30,000 trip ain't nothing. But what that means is I'm around other people that can stroke that check. And it is shocking to me how many of them have let their bodies go and they can't enjoy it. Dude, I have been on some trips
Yeah,
there's a 6-star trip we went on here recently. And I want to tell you, half the people never got off the boat
it's crazy to me.
because they've let their bodies go, and now it's too late. So
Yeah,
folks, again, if you want to get on a health journey like I started this year, and you want to ask me one thing you could do, no, I don't care whether you're man, woman, 20 or 70. Figure out what your average daily steps are and add 2,000. I'm not telling you to get to 20,000 like I do every day. I'm simply telling you to know what you do and add 2,000. If you do that for a month, you'll be shocked at the fact that you lose 2 or 3 pounds and you change nothing else. Just moving your body more, parking farther, taking the stairs. It is the little things that when you do them daily compound. And that's what you've locked
100%.
into here. That's awesome.
Yeah. On that note too, I think the thing that is like one of the biggest things that helped me to do those things is really casting out the vision of like who I want to be. So like in the example that Michael's talking about is, if you're trying to be a healthy person, just ask yourself what a healthy person is going to do and create small little rules in your life, small little rules. Like always taking the stairs, you'd be surprised, but like that compounds a lot. Like I don't
Yes.
take I don't take the escalator anywhere I go. If there's an elevator, I will walk 9 stories because like it's just the small things. I do that everywhere I go when I'm on vacation and stuff. And a lot of people don't do that. And it's 1%. It's 1% more, but a lot of that stuff compounds. What you're
Yeah,
saying.
you've obviously seen the memes where you see 99% of the people going up the escalator and there's this one lone individual. Next time I see that, I'm going to just tag you. I'm going to say, that's Dylan. All
100%. 100%.
right, what do you got
Cool.
next?
Yeah. So I think this has been something that I've been a lot more mindful of in the last, I'd say, year and a half. But just guarding your time like your life depends on it, because
Mm.
I really believe that it does. Um, I think from a more youthful perspective, I was thinking that money was scarce because I just think it was out there, but the money's
Ooh,
already made. You know, you just have to go get it. Like that's an abundant resource. And the more skilled that you become, like you can get money at any given time. The thing that is not abundant is time, but also like under the umbrella is your energy and your focus and your energy, right? So you don't have a whole lot of that. Once you let go of your focus and your attention, and that seeps into your time, you're not mindful of where that's going. You don't get any of that back, and you'd be surprised, but people are so sucked into their phone on trips and things like that. And so I just at all times I'm constantly doing an energy audit. Who or what energizes me? Who
yeah.
or what drains my soul? And it doesn't have to be a specific person, but it could be a specific thing. It
It's
doesn't
it's
mean that
it,
it's
it, it
everybody.
could be this fucking phone,
A
right?
hundred
I
percent.
can't tell you how many people, like, if you want to, like, I talk to people all the time, and I've done this only a few times, but I think I should do it more. Is I should pull up people's Instagram feeds because it's going to tell me what you're looking at, right? If you look at my Instagram feed, you're going to see comedians, you're going to see health stuff, weights or diets or things of that nature, or real
Yep.
estate. That's what you would
Yep.
see on my phone. Those are the three things I
Yep.
look at.
Yep.
And other people, right? They're telling me they want to be real estate investors, but their freaking YouTube feed is doomers. Why?
Mhm.
Why would you let that poison into your mind? Right? It's hard enough. You don't need to freaking deal with poison daily. It's crazy to me.
I think like starting off small like that, you can literally select on certain reels that come on your feed and put not interested. Anything
Yes,
that doesn't align with where I want my attention going, I put not interested. I heart the things that I like, so I see more of it.
exactly.
But it's funny hearing you say that because that's exactly what's on my feed. It's like jujitsu or working out. It's business of some sort, or it's something that makes me laugh or makes me think. That's
Yeah,
that's all I want to
that's
see on
it.
my feed.
There you
Yeah.
go. I love it. I
Um,
love it.
so and
But
then I think you do more of the things and hang around with the people that make you like energized, and you just do less of the second. It doesn't have to be a perfect science, but just constantly doing an audit. Like, how did I feel when I was doing this? How do I feel when I'm hanging out with this person? And you'll notice patterns with certain people and certain things that you do. And you just do more of the things that make you pumped up and energize you, make you think, and you do less of the
amen.
things that don't.
Oh, amen. Love that. What's next?
I think finding your maxims is something that is very, very helpful. And what I mean by maxim is it's just like a change in a frame, a change in the way and perspective that you're looking at things. Two people can be looking at the same thing but have completely different perceptions of reality. So I
Yes.
think very small changes in perception is important. So like examples for me is there's no sunshine without rain. So whenever I'm going through a hard time, I just realize that like the rain, the storm is here to make me appreciate the sunshine when it does come. Because
Hmm.
nothing like without there's always like any good movie, there's gonna be some type of like conflict, some type of chaos that's going on.
Yeah.
That's the reason that we're engaged with the story. So just realize that's a part of the story. That's a reason. There's a reason that it's there. That's there. There's no you don't appreciate the view at the top of the mountain if it wasn't hard getting up there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. I love that. And one of the other ones you had here, which I totally agree with, is you just tell yourself this will make a good story. Right. Again, there's, one of my rules, right, is it's number 5. Bad things will happen. Learn and move on. It's okay. Bad thing. I mean, nobody gets through this life unscathed. You're going to have scars, some deeper than others. It's okay. It's what makes you, and just understand
It's
it. Don't
important.
dwell on it and move on.
Yeah, 100%. And I think exactly to what you're saying. Like I talk in analogy all the time. My dad makes fun of me for it, but genuinely, like if you're every time you step up on a home plate and every time you just hit a dinger and you're hitting a home run, you're not stopping to think about the game. Like you're like, I'm
No.
so good at this. But the moment you get hit in the face with the ball
Yeah.
again and again, you're taking notes. You don't want that to happen again.
Yeah.
Like it's there
That
for a
kind of
reason.
sucks. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then the
Yeah.
last thing I'll do to drive this point home is especially because I think a lot of us think that we're the only ones going through this. This is super hard, and we dwell on it, but realize that no one's going to remember in 100 years anyway. So like,
Yeah,
it's all going to be okay. Even if you lost everything, like no one's going to remember. You'll figure it out. It's all a part of the story that you're going to one day tell. And I think that sometimes all you need is a change of frame to anchor you during chaos.
pretty awesome. All right, keep it going, man. This is a lot of fun. What do you got next?
Yeah, becoming more thoughtful about the words that I speak, both to myself and the people around me. So, and then again, I'm not perfect at this, but I try to be very mindful of my tongue. I don't want to gossip about other people. I don't want to be known as that kind of person, even if there are things and people that maybe rub me the wrong way. If I don't have anything good to say, I just try not to say it. I started trying to speak my goals into existence, being mindful of like what I said was possible and what wasn't. And if I do notice myself saying I can't or whatever, I try to figure out why, what the root cause of it is, and just
Yeah.
changing my, and like if I don't do it, then I just don't have the skills. It's not that I can't do it, it's that I don't have the skills. So what skills do I need to acquire to be able to do the thing that I want to do?
Yeah, this is the one that I still struggle with. Again, these are all wonderful, and some of these just make me reflect. And I'm 53 now, and this is still one that I suffer with. Not the gossiping, but the self-talk. That is one I certainly say I can't a lot more often than most people would think. I don't have this, and this kind of ties in with the next one. But yeah, my vision casting is not great, and I just need to get better at that and figure that out. So
Yeah,
love this one.
I think that we all do. I think that it's always going to be a work in progress, and I think the more mindful of it that you are, the better off. And it's not going to be perfect. With that said, to tie into the next one, I just think like shooting big, dreaming big and wanting to do big stuff. Again, like I know this kind of contradicts the earlier thing about small things, but if you make a vision so high, like it's going to wake you up, it's going to get you excited, it's going to scare you a little bit. So I try to always shoot for the moon. And sometimes I even feel like as I continue to do business, I'm like, I'm still thinking too small. And that's where I think being mindful of people, that's why all of this ties in, because being mindful of people that you are around are going to realize that you're thinking smaller. So you just constantly like move the goalpost, keep keep going, keep it on. And one thing that I think, and this is like, again, talking to my younger self, I was talking to my buddy Kate the other day, and I was asking him like what he would tell his younger self, and he asked me the same question. And I remember like just getting frustrated, like, my sneakers got dirty or like little things like that. And like now I'm like, if you're complaining about small things, you just don't have big enough problems to solve. Like
Yeah.
those little things, like if they're bothering you, go solve bigger problems,
But yes, right. If you got a little scuff on your sneakers is the worst part of the day. You're not thinking big enough. That is fun.
100%.
Yeah, you
And
got to shoot for the moon. It's really again. This is probably my weakest. And I've said this hundreds of times on the videos I produce. This is I am so comfortable, Dylan, doing the work. I am so comfortable. Dude, I'm so broken. I'm excited for tomorrow, today to do the work. But when you ask me like, what's the big vision? It's like, I don't know, dude. I'm just in here in the mud. I like being in the mud,
yeah.
but that's a weakness of mine for sure.
Well, and I honestly don't even think that that's even a bad thing, because like inevitably you're going to get farther where you're going regardless. So I think like you don't always necessarily need to know where you're going to go, but at least you're in the plane, you're flying the plane, you're going somewhere, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that much I can guarantee you. I'm going somewhere. I'm making progress. I may not know why or how big it could be, but I am working. I just love to work. I love to do these. I mean, now 16 or 17,000 videos, 3 a day, dude. I love every conversation. I just really
Yeah.
do. I'm just broken that way. All right, what do you got next?
Yeah. Yeah. The bow that I'll tie on this
Sure.
is there's a quote that I remember from Alex Ramosi. And he was
Oh yeah.
always talking about like the bigger the dragon you're willing to slay, the more legendary the story becomes. So
Yes.
when you are shooting big, you're inevitably going to have a lot bigger shit to solve, and there's going to be a lot
Yes.
scarier. But like that's going to make for a way cooler story, which is why having the maxims and the change of frame is so important, because you're going to need that, because
Yes.
you're going to have chaos.
Absolutely. I love that. Love Alex Ramosi's quotes. I follow him on X and in IG. So yeah, very cool. All right, what do you got?
Yeah, I just think showing up day in and day out. This ties very well into what you were just saying, but you only lose if you quit. It's really hard to be someone that just refuses to stop grinding. The frame
This
that
is
I
where I
mentioned,
live. This is where I live.
yep, it's a
Nobody
great place to live.
is gonna outwork me. Right. I will show up long after you have quit 3 times. I am still here. And this
100%.
this this is a strength of mine. Where the other one might be a weakness, this one I got in spades.
Yeah. 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 And I think like, and I'm come from a younger generation, but I grew up playing video games. Like, so for anyone that's like grew up playing video games too, like whether you're a little older than me and it was Mario Kart for you or Super Mario Bros, like I think just treating business and life like a video game and just learn to love playing it every day is
Yes.
one of the simplest and easiest things to do. Cause like that's all this is, all life is a game and we have a very short time here. And I think we use the wrong frame. I think a lot of us like think getting the deal or getting, you know, the units that you want, the rentals that you want, like that's the like you win. But you have to change the rules because once you get to those goals, and this is what I had to learn because I had these like financial goals or rental or whatever, and it doesn't change you. And so what happens, at least for me, is like when I would hit these goals, I would have like these bouts because I my baseline was so dictated by my outcomes that when I would have these really high moments, I had to eventually come back down. So
Oh, yeah.
a lot of times when I would hit these goals, I would be depressed for a few days.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
the rule, like for me, the goal is not to win the game, it's to play it. So you have to change the rules.
I love that. Yeah, one of the things I have, you know, with a couple of decades on you is, yeah, you've got to live for this. You can't let this. Right, the more you can live within a very small band, like I think I heard somebody talk about, you always want to be a 7. I think it was Ty Lopez, right? You don't want to be a 10 because there's only one way to go down, right? But if you're a 7 or an 8, you know that's a pretty good life, and if you could stay there, it's a really good life. So yeah, I love all of this. Well, Dylan,
Yeah.
these were the 9 habits that made you unrecognizable in 24 months. Folks, in the comments below, let us know what your favorite one was. Dylan, give us your closing thoughts.
Yeah. I would say be super mindful of where you're spending your time and who you're spending it with. Think really big, and that's the reason you hang out with awesome people because they're going to force you to do it. And don't get so caught up in trying to run the marathon. I think just starting taking walks and getting your foot like one step forward every single
Yeah.
day and making small compounding efforts every single day will get you to where you want to go. And you don't, to what Michael was saying, you don't necessarily need to know where you're going to go, but just go forward.
Yeah. Take the next step. The next step will illuminate. There's this story about it, you know, somebody stuck in a forest and, you know, I don't know how to get out. Well, can you see the next step? Just take the next step. Right. There's a lot to that.
100%.
Yeah. So folks, at the end of the day, this young man is a savant on Instagram. I implore you right now to go to Dillionaire321 and give him a follow. And also, if you want to do me a solid, send him a direct message telling him, thank you for coming on One Rental at a Time. Thank you for speaking at the event in Vegas. Dylan, we'll talk next week.
Sounds good.
Thanks, buddy.